Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So if you are new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Anne and on here I do talk about life and study in Italy, and I'm also a faith-based content creator as well. So if this looks to be content you're interested in, do consider subscribing to the channel and thank you for doing that. Okay, so in today's video, this is actually a popularly requested video. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to talk about like how to study in Italy, the entire process, A to Z, the detailed process. Because I found a lot of students that they've either gotten admission and then they didn't know what to do next. I'm actually going to tell you the detailed process. Okay, studying Italy process actually involves university, researching for the university you want to study in, and then applying to that university, getting your educational documents ready, and then receiving an admission letter from the university or getting acceptance into the university, then pre-enrolling to that university, and applying for scholarships and then that of visa. So applying for scholarship and visa can interchange. It depends on you basically. So I'm going to start with that of the university research. Okay, so first of all, for you to come and study in Italy, you will need to be able to begin like your search, like where do I want to study. Probably you might know what program you want to study, but then even if you're not sure what program you want to study, you might be like, okay, what program would I want to study? And that is where university comes, to play. And this is actually very, very good for you to study in Italy. And if you want to study like in, English, you want to study in English, maybe your master's, maybe your, maybe bachelor's, PhD, you want to study in English, like University Italy is the best place for you to begin. Okay, I can just imagine how stressful it is for you to go to Google, or for you to Google, trying to Google every university, every possible university you want to study in Italy. Like the information doesn't come easily. Okay, and making a decision can actually be very difficult. But then with University Italy, you get all the information in one place. Okay, University Italy is actually a government site for international students wanting to come and study in Italy. You don't have to be worried. Everything on the site is actually legit. So I have an entire video on it. I'm going to link it here, okay, for you to check it out, how to navigate the site. So usually in Italy, the major intake is that of the September intake. And usually they open like the calls in November, December, but the majority of universities actually open in January, February, okay. So after you're done with the research on University, then you go directly from there to the university site and then you go apply there. So on the application, I believe for you to be able to apply to several universities and increase your chances of being selected, go for the universities that offer like free application, okay, where you don't have to pay application fee. Yes, you can possibly, if you like a university where you have to pay like application fee, fine, go for it. But then I also advise that you also look out for other universities where application fees are not like, you don't have to pay application fees. Some of the things that you need to take note of is while you are applying, they are going to ask for your university certificate, your transcript of records, your letter of motivation, your recommendation letters, your CV or your resume, your English language certificate, okay? And they can also ask of your passport, your passport itself, your identification document, that of a passport size picture, and then that of your TOEIC score, okay? After you're done with that, the question is how long will it take for the university to get back to you? It depends, okay? It depends. Sometimes it can take like 3 weeks, sometimes it can take 30 days. It just depends. So that is why I think you should apply to several universities where there are no application fees, so that at least when you don't hear from this person, you will hear from the other university, so that you are not left hanging. Because I've seen students that have waited for beyond 2 months, 3 months, and then they get worried because they apply to just one university. But then I think you should apply to several universities so that it increases your chances of being picked. Okay. So after you get acceptance or admission, they send you your admission letter, or some universities do not actually do that, but then they're going to alert you of your acceptance into the university. After they do that, what you're going to do is to proceed and pre-enroll on Universitaly. So you're going to go back to Universitaly and pre-enroll to that university. So by pre-enrolling, what does it mean? It means you are accepting the university's acceptance of you. With pre-enrolling, you're basically going to fill information about you, your country. I have this video as well where I showed you guys how to pre-enroll on Universitaly. So check it out. So you're going to pre-enroll, give them all details about you, and then that is where one thing is also going to be very important. You have to get evaluation of your foreign degree. So you either have to get DOV or CIMEA. Okay, CIMEA's statements of comparability and verification, or you go for DOV. Okay, where they evaluate your degree or your high school certificate to find out whether it meets the Italian system standard. Basically, you have a foreign qualification, so they don't know how it meets the Italian universities system. Okay, so the Italian education system. So yeah, um, getting those by getting the evaluation certificate, it helps them to know that yeah, you actually meet the level that they are admitting you to. So yeah, that is what you do. So what happens when one thing you need to take note of, you can pre-enroll to one university, okay, in Italy. So you have to really be sure. In instances where you've gotten several acceptance into several universities, please decide on the university you want to go with and then pre-enroll there. So you're done pre-enrolling, okay, to a particular university. What happens when you change your mind? Probably you were waiting on one university to get back to you, but then they got back to you very late. Okay, what happens when you want to change from one university to the other? You want to pre-enroll to a different university other than the one that you pre-enrolled to. So what you have to take note of is when you pre-enroll, okay, the university actually needs, when you pre-enroll to the university on Universitaly, they have to validate it so that they can send it to the embassy in your home country, okay. So in instances where you've already pre-enrolled to one university and then now you've changed your mind, you want to pre-enroll to a different university, then in this instance, what you're going to actually do is to contact that university to cancel your pre-enrollment there so that you can pre-enroll to the new university. And then what you have to take note of is once you cancel your pre-enrollment in that university for that academic year, you cannot apply, or you cannot also pre-enroll to them for that academic year. Okay. So you also have to take note of that. So before you cancel a pre-enrollment, be very, very sure that the other university is the one you want to go with. Yes, so okay, that is what you also need to take note of. So sometimes during pre-enrollment, maybe you don't have all your documents certified. Okay, I did mention of DOV and CIMEA. I'm going to explain it more into details. So for you to actually complete your pre-enrollment, as I did mention that you need to get your DOV. So for you to get evaluation of your documents, you have to what? Legalize the documents. And for you to legalize the documents, you need to authenticate and translate it. Okay, so you legalize it. Your educational documents, you legalize them at the education ministries in the country where you got the document from. So I know it causes confusion, but then if you're Ghanaian and probably you studied in Nigeria and then maybe you hold a bachelor's degree from a university in Nigeria, it doesn't make sense for you to take it to the foreign ministry, or it doesn't make sense for you to take it to the education ministry in Ghana for them to validate a document that they didn't issue for you. I have this video, you can check it, or I have this video, you can check it out to understand better how this actually works. But then what you have to do is you take the document to the country where you got that document from, because every certificate, every degree has an identification number that is identifiable to the to the country where you got it from. So you have to take it to that country and get it authenticated. Then it is that same place that you're going to what legalize it. So after you're done legalizing, because you legalize it in the country where you actually got you legalize it at the Italian embassy in the country where you got the certificate from. Okay, so that is also one thing that you need to take note of. So after you're done doing that, then in instances where you live in a different country, then you bring the documents there. Then you bring the documents there, and then you request for your visa there. So that is the next stage that we are going to go to. But then basically, yeah, when you are done with getting when you have the CIMEA is an online application actually. So that one you're going to upload your documents, you're going to pay an amount, okay, and then they're going to run the verification and that of they're going to run the verification and that of the statement of comparability for you. But then the cost is much more expensive than that of the DOV. But then to know whether you're going to go for senior or that of DOV, it depends on your university, what the university is going to ask of you. Some universities give you the two options, you can choose any of them. Some universities will only ask for DOV, and some other universities will ask for only senior. Okay, so it depends on the university. So that is also one thing that you need to take note of.